Peace, family. Peace, peace. Welcome back to my channel. This is Brittany. So happy to have you here on another wonderful day for another message for your soul that you are needing at this time. So let's just get right into it. You are in a space where you have been doing a lot of forcing, trying to make things happen to the way that you want them to happen. And Source is basically saying that this is what's hindering you from seeing all the things that are for you, because you have been in a space where you feel like you're basically too much in your masculine energy. Let's just get right down to business. You're being too much in your masculine energy. You are trying to logic your way through things. You are trying to put a puzzle together without all the pieces. And so you are racking your brain trying to make everything fit into this puzzle, but it's not working because you're simply trying to force the pieces into the place where they don't go. And through you doing this, you are missing what is really for you to see and for you to experience and to understand, because of the idea of you have to make things happen. Now, this is something that we're taught. We're taught that making things happen is what we're meant to do. Mind you, side note, I want to let you all know that I have one-on-one sessions available for those of you who are needing one-on-one assistance, support, you're needing clarity, you're wanting help to know what your next steps are, what you're supposed to be doing now, how you can move forward. You've got challenges and certain things that you're working through. I'm now offering one-on-one sessions where you can connect directly with me. We can work through what you're experiencing, and that way, sorry y'all, my hair keeps getting in my eye. And that way you can move forward and you can accelerate in the direction that you're needing to go. I will channel through guidance for you from Source and from your spirit team and use my intuitive abilities and knowings to guide you through what you're experiencing. So if you've been wanting to connect with me, if you've been wanting just extra support and help and guidance, then this is the perfect opportunity for you. So check the link in my bio. The link will also be pinned in the comments, and book your session with me today so we can connect and I can help you through what you're experiencing. And so we've got to get out of the idea that we cannot trust spirit, because when you're forcing things to happen and they're not happening, it's because spirit is wanting to redirect you in a different place. But your ego is trying to have you believe that you know what's best, or your ego is trying to have you believe that there's a certain direction that you need to be moving in, because that direction is going to help you feel more in control. And that direction is going to help keep you more comfortable instead of you having to grow and stretch in the way that spirit is wanting you to. Some of you are experiencing trials, tribulations, challenges right now very deeply because spirit is trying to usher you into a different space. But you're not sure if that's what's happening because your ego is coming in telling you, no, it's because you haven't done this, because you haven't done that. You need to try harder. You need to do more. When spirit is saying that couldn't be any further from the truth of what it is. And so when you see things that are not going your way, your first response, and this is what our response is as a human being because of what we've been conditioned to do, is to try to make something happen, to try to force it into happening. And then when you don't, you get really anxious and you start feeling nervous and you start not trusting yourself because you don't understand what's happening. Do you know Source is saying that you're not supposed to know what's going to happen? Message. You are not meant to know what is happening next. That's not your job to know. But see, when you are so much in your masculine of trying to assert yourself into knowing what needs and has to be done when it has to be done, you take away your ability to be in your feminine energy, which is what this time is calling for you to do. It's calling for you to step outside of the box, look at the puzzle that you're unable to put together from the perspective of what can I learn in this time frame? Because I don't have all the pieces, that doesn't mean that I'll never have all the pieces. I just don't have them right now. So what can I learn from being in this time where I don't have all the pieces? Is this puzzle still beautiful even though it's missing some things? Absolutely. Am I still grateful for all the puzzle pieces I have at this moment? Absolutely. What can I do in this in-between time? See? So when you change your perspective and you start looking at things like that, you say, okay, you know what? It's all right. I can be in flow. There's other areas of focus that I can put my time and attention and energy into. There are other things that I can do to level up in my life. I don't have to try to make everything work out. I can just trust. I can just trust that everything is going to work out, and that the more I just move forward in my life, the more these puzzle pieces will show themselves to me. That is the attitude the source is looking for all of us to have right now. Is to change the perspective and say, you know what? I'm going to allow my ego to step to the side, and I'm going to start asking my heart how my heart feels and what my heart wants to do. And I'm going to be more soul led, which is simply being heart led, which is simply you following spirit. So how in your life are you trying to make things happen and force them into happening? And then where in your life are you meeting resistance? And all the resistance is showing you is that that is not the direction for you. General, if you're meeting resistance, it simply means that that is not the direction that spirit wants you to be in. So whether it's resistance that you're feeling in your personal life, in relationships, resistance you're feeling in your work, in your job, in whatever. If you keep trying to do something and you just keep hitting a wall, that's spirit trying to tell you something. Now, there's a different type of resistance, right, that we are wanting to talk about at this time. And that's the resistance of the ego. Because at times, the resistance you're feeling is the ego trying to get involved and tell you that you shouldn't go in a particular direction because it's scared, because of what you've experienced in the past, because what your ego feels like may happen. See, there's resistance of the ego and there's resistance of spirit. And so it's your job to figure out which one it is. Which one is it? When you're feeling really good about yourself, do you still have resistance? When you're in a high vibration, do you have that same resistance? That's a great way of telling, because when you're in a high vibration, you're more in the vibration of spirit, of your higher self. Are you feeling really low and depressed and down and upset when you think about something? Do you keep trying to make something happen and it's not happening? How do you feel in your heart? Like, these are questions that Source is wanting you to ask, because this shows that you are not just in your human self, in your human essence, that you're transitioning into a higher level of thinking, a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of being. And when you're in that higher level, you start asking yourself questions that your lower level of self would completely ignore, would not ask, would not even think about, because you don't want to think about what the answer could be. You don't want to think about what the situation could actually be or what it could actually be showing you, because you're trying to run from what it is. But as a higher level being, as someone who is on their spiritual path, as someone who is acquiring all of the abundance that they desire in their life, you don't have time to just be sitting and just ignoring all the things that you actually need to be paying attention to, the things that are going to help you accelerate, that are going to help you bring into your life what you actually want to experience. The old version of you would just push it away, push it down. I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to face it. I'm going to run over here. I'm going to run over there. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to try to distract myself. That's what the old version, lower level version of you would do. But that's not who you are, because that's not who you're becoming. And so instead, you're looking at these challenges, you're looking at these things in the face, and you're saying, what is this trying to teach me? What am I running from? What am I trying to make or force happen? What am I trying to get to that I so desperately want that I'm impatient to allow spirit to move it into my life? What is it? These are the higher level of questionings that you're having, that you're needing to have at this time, because it'll show you a different perspective. It'll help get you out of the ego. It'll help you be more of an objective observer to what you're experiencing, so that you can get out of victimhood, so you can get out of the woe is me and everything is happening to me and I just don't know why things aren't working out, and it's got to be something else that I'm doing or something that I'm not doing. What if it's just that's not the direction you should be going in? What if it's you're meant for more? What if it's just simply source and spirit and your guides are just trying to reposition you in a different place? What if it's just that? Why does it have to be what we normally think in our human experience? Oh my goodness, like, okay, well, if it doesn't work in this direction, then it's got to work in a different direction. And I need to try to figure it out. I need to logic my way through it. I need to like figure it out. That's so masculine. And Source is saying that the space that you're in right now requires you to have balance. It requires you to be more balanced. Yes, there's a space for this masculine energy, but there's also a space for your divine feminine energy. The divine masculine, the divine feminine. They merge, they are one. It's the yin and the yang. Balance. So this is what you're being pushed into doing. It's time to reflect. It's time for you to reflect. How can you tap more into your knowing, releasing the resistance, releasing the control, allowing things to take form on their own, see yourself in a different, higher perspective, be more of the observer to how you're thinking, what you're feeling, so that you can check yourself when you need to, because guess what? No one else is going to check you. No one is going to check you. And if you don't check yourself, spirit is going to check you in a way that's going to be super uncomfortable for you. And sometimes that is what we need. Sometimes that's the best way for us to learn. But it's going to be uncomfortable and you're not going to like it. So it's better that you and your human self learn to check yourself. Learn to ask yourself certain questions so that you can get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me again today. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you today. I love you all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow in the next channeled message. All right? Peace, y'all.